Welcome to Enduro360.com. I am your host, Chili White. Today we are here to talk about motorcycle helmets. As you see, I got a little selection here in front of me. Catch me out dirt bike riding, this is what I'm going to be wearing. This is my Climb F4. If you follow any of our adventure bike or dual sport stories, you've seen this thing in the background a few times. It's my old faithful Arai. When it comes to comfort and quiet for going down the street, this thing is, man, it's hard to beat. But when it comes to adventure bike riding, this really is what all the cool kids are wearing. Purpose-built ADV helmet. What makes it so? Well, it has a combination of a flip-up shield and a peak. So the idea is that it gives you the best of both a dirt bike helmet and a street bike helmet. This here is the AFX FX-39. I broke down and bought it. Came from Revzilla, delivered to my door, $110. So let's do a quick review on it. Basically, we have two different areas to talk about. One is the general overall quality and construction of the helmet, and then the second is, the execution of the concept. How well does it really work? In general, I like this AFX helmet. It's attractive. It seems like it's pretty well put together. Inside it has a pretty plush, comfortable lining. It's fully removable. It has the strap here is sort of a unique ratchet style. It actually works really well. I'm still kind of getting used to it. It's just a little hard to get past not having the traditional D-ring, but it seems like it works. Full venting. It's got vent here in the front, 2 intakes, 1 outlet in the rear, adjustable peak, 1 intermediate position on the shield. Really pretty much everything you're looking for in a quality motorcycle helmet. And one of the other features, of course, that's unique about this is that it's designed to accommodate goggles, and then specifically this model will allow you to close the face shield with the goggles on. It's actually open just enough here for the strap to fit through. Seems like it's going to be a pretty nice helmet. So let's talk a little bit about the function. In terms of fit, this fits more or less kind of like that medium oval of an Arai. It fits nearly identical to a VMAR helmet if you've ever had one of those. And what that means is that it's got a very solid kind of halo feel right around the top. And then there's also a very solid, right in the curve of the skull, there's a very solid feel there. So when the helmet's on, it doesn't move. Right now, as this is brand new, I find it to be fairly snug, but I think it's actually going to break in and would fit me extremely well. But I can see that if my head was shaped just a little bit different, that those same areas could definitely become pressure points very easily. Out on the road, the first thing I kind of ran across with this is the fact that while goggles fit in here, they're a bit of a challenge to actually get in here properly, particularly with the breath deflector in place. The shield does close down on them nice, but because the helmet is fairly wide right across here, it pulls the goggles off your face just a little bit. Not terrible, but they certainly by no means seal up good like you would expect in a dirt bike helmet. The next thing I noticed is the shield is pretty nice. It would be nice if it had one little prop open space right here, but intermediate one, and then up. But when it's flipped all the way up, you can tell it's still not really that high, and this is always just a little bit in your vision. At first it's distracting, but you would probably get used to it after a while. More critical is the fact that because this helmet has a fairly steep, down to the nose piece here, there's still a lot of curvature in this shield compared to a more traditional street bike one. Overall, the clarity and vision's pretty good, but right down here at the bottom, I did notice some distortion, like if you're looking right out just beyond the front wheel of the motorcycle. I got a little sense of vertigo looking through this screen. Not terrible. I would probably be able to get used to it, but certainly not just that great clean look of looking through a quality shield like the Arai. The peak, as you will notice, is kind of short. Obviously that's so that it doesn't catch too much air blast. But the challenge is, when you've actually got the helmet on, you're only seeing just the very tip of it right here. So it doesn't really provide all that much shading or shielding effect. As you can see here, it's adjusted all the way down, so that's all there is. When I got out on the highway on this thing, the very first thing I noticed is there is a very direct channel of wind that comes right into the bottom of the helmet and right up onto your face. Basically, the entire time I wore this, I could feel wind buffeting on my eyes. At one point, I was riding down a county road through some agricultural area, and I could actually start feeling the dirt get into my eyes through the helmet. Now, if I put my hand right up here, it completely stopped. So it's pretty obvious. I'm not sure if there's going to be an easy fix for that. That was just riding basically a dual sport bike with no fairing on it. So it's really the kind of wind blast you would expect on almost any bike. The other real challenge for me is it turns out this helmet's fairly noisy. Now, it's not noisy in terms of wind blast, which is kind of what you would expect. It's noisy because it doesn't really seal down here around the bottom. So all the road noise, all the motorcycle noise comes right into your ears. Not really that much quieter than just wearing a dirt bike helmet. Nowhere close to how quiet the Arai is. So if you can see where I'm going, I'm a little challenged with this helmet. It's got some great features. I like the look. I like the build quality. But in terms of practical function, because I own two good quality helmets right now, this one really doesn't give me anything I don't have already. So I think I'm going to send it back. I would love to have one of these helmets. I guess someday I'm just going to have to break down and really try the Arai, because that's probably the best ones out there right now. So there you have it. It's a nice helmet, but in terms of function, it really just falls a little bit short for me. If I didn't own two other helmets, I could probably figure out how to get by with this one pretty good, but for now I'm going to stick with what I've got. So there you have, that's a quick review on the new AFX-39, and that's about it for today. Thanks for tuning in. You can see it all at enduro360.com, and we will see you here next time.